Hey everybody, Dr. Lady J here. Hope you are doing well. I hope your week is going well. We're midweek, so I hope the past few days have been great for you. I know everybody's looking forward to the weekend, as I am. Shout out to John Hansborough for the t-shirt, Unusual Favor. Y'all check out his book, Unusual Favor. Go on Amazon and you'll be able to check out his book. It's a amazing book, and it has a lot to do with what I'm going to be talking about for a few minutes today. Now, one of my favorite shows was Norbit. And if you all remember, on Norbit, he had a girlfriend. And why can't I? Rasputia, that was her name. Rasputia, I thought I was going to forget it. Rasputia was his girlfriend's name. And so, Rasputia, she was a lot. She was a whole lot to deal with. But there was always something that she would say. She was very sarcastic, and after her sarcastic remarks, she would say, "Now how you darn?" She would always say that, and I would fall out every time she said it. And then for a while, people, had picked it up. And then, we had Wendy Williams who was doing her show, and her show was "How y'all doing?" That was her show. I can't do it like her, but that was her show, and that was her intro. When she was before she would do anything, talking about anything or anybody, she would sit down and ask everybody, "How you doing?" And so today I want to ask you the question, how are you doing? Because right now, in a lot of our states and our country, period, mental health is on the rise. And people are silently suffering with their mental health issues. And I just wanted to come on for a few minutes to give you some things to look forward to if you're not feeling right. I also wanted to you're going to see some phone numbers posted, so in case you feel like you're at that point where you really need some help, you need some intervention, I'll have those numbers listed for you as well. But I want to start off by saying that it's nothing to be ashamed of. A lot of people suffer with mental health issues. A lot of people are in therapy. A lot of people are going through some stuff. I am a person, I'm still in therapy. I've been in therapy a long time because of the marriage that I was in. And I just feel like at this point in time, I don't need to step out of therapy. I need to continue in therapy. Therapy is very important. And as we talk about mental health issues, it can be mental, it can be behavioral, it can be emotional. And so I want to touch on a few things, not long because I don't like to do long segments, but just to give you something to think about. Now, some of you may go through the day, and you may go through an entire day, a couple of days, or a week without anybody asking you, how are you doing? Because all of us are so busy. And I know for myself, my two phones ring all the time. I'm constantly talking to people, helping people, counseling people, but I rarely get a phone call with somebody saying, "Lady J, how are you doing?" And so that's another reason why I keep up with everything that I'm talking to you all about in these life coaching sessions, and I stay in therapy because I want to make sure that my mind is always clear and right, and that I'm on the right path. And so what I want to do is ask you some questions. I'm going to give you some signs to look for at first, and then we're going to give you some questions, and I want you to think about it. And if you do feel like any of this pertains to you, please get the help that you need, because some of the signs that you can look for that are sort of general warning signs for mental illness, or if you're having a crisis, is people worry a lot. They begin to worry, not just the normal worry, but it's excessive worry where you are just constantly worry. You literally can worry yourself sick. Okay, you can literally worry yourself to death. Okay, literally, you can actually do that if you don't get the help that you need. People have died from worry, and people have gotten sick, heart attacks, strokes, being sick, not knowing what's wrong with them, breakdowns because of worry. Another thing people deal with is problems concentrating. You're not able to focus. It's hard for you to learn. You can't retain information because your mind is so cluttered with all of the things that you're dealing with. And you don't know how to categorize those things and put them in their proper place. And because you haven't learned how to do that, everything is just cluttered, and it's like it's all in this one box, and you're in there trying to figure everything out, and you're trying to sort it out, but you don't have the tools or the skills to do it. People become more irritable, angrier than you've ever seen. I know the city that I live in, I tell people a lot of times, it's sad when you can't walk down the street and look at people and say hello, because sometimes you can see the look on people's faces and they're so angry, you don't even really want to look at them, because just looking at them is a little scary and you don't know how they're going to react to you. And so people are dealing with anger, intensity. They are just over the top. Another sign is mood swings. What are your moods like? I've talked to people who can be on top of the world one minute, and then it's like you flip the switch and they're a totally different person. Mood swings. They don't know why they're angry. They don't know why they're upset. They just know that they're mad, that you made them angry. You did something. It's never their fault. They're not going to take responsibility. It's something that you did. And so people who are having these emotional, mental, behavioral breakdowns deal with mood swings. Also, self-isolation. A lot of people get to the point where they don't want to be around other people. They don't want to go to church. They don't want to go to work. They don't want to go outside. They may not want to deal even with their family. And they self-isolate. And not even understanding that self-isolation doesn't help anything. It just makes it worse. But because their mind gets to the point that it's just so broken and so worn down, they don't want to socialize with anybody. And I have to be honest and say that that is so real. Years ago, I was in that space. I was definitely in that space. And you get into that space of not wanting to be around anybody. And then when you feel like you want to come out of that space, you don't even know how to come out. And people may say, oh, it's just easy. Just come on out of the house. It's not that easy. And this is why going to therapy and getting the help that you need is so important to get you back on track. Your sleeping habits may change. Some people suffer with insomnia. Some people may just sleep for a long time. That was my issue. I think I shared with you all that years ago in my marriage, I suffered with being clinically depressed. And I was depressed to the point that I could barely function. It was very difficult for me to function on a day-to-day basis for a couple of years until I had gotten some help. And sometimes situations that you're in will push you into those mental health states, emotional, behavioral. It will push you to the point where you just don't have any more energy. You don't have any more fuel to push yourself. And so you find yourself in just a state of loneliness and despair. And it becomes really hard for you to even let anybody know what you're going through. Another thing that people deal with is changes in your eating habits. Some people will eat a lot because eating becomes a comfort for them. And then you have people like myself who wouldn't eat at all. It had gotten to the point where it was just difficult for me to eat. I did not have a taste or a desire for food. And so it affects people in different ways. And I'm going to say a few more things about this after I go through the list. And also, your appearance changes. Now, you may go from being this person who, a few things could happen. You may go from being a person who always is up on your game, looking good, smelling good, and all of that, to being a person who doesn't even take a bath. It gets that real. And I've dealt with people like that who don't even take a bath. They don't shower. They don't do anything. They can sleep all day. They cannot eat. And, and they're good with it. They're okay with it. And to them at that moment and in that time, it makes sense to them. And so it's a process and it's a journey to pull them out of that space, to get them to where they need to be. Your appearance can also change because, as I said a few minutes ago, from eating habits. Some people go from being very small to being big because they're overeating. But eating is their comfort. Even eating is the only thing that makes them feel good when they can grab that food. Then you have people who will lose a lot of weight and look very sick because they're just not eating at all. Their body is rejecting food. Their brain is rejecting food every time they try to go and eat. This is very serious, everybody. You also have unexplainable health problems. Now, let me tell you this. When I was going through my depressive disorder, I can't count, and I'm being very honest with you guys, I can't count how many times I was in and out of the hospital for this, for that, and there was never diagnosis. The doctors could never figure out what was going on with me. And it was all mental. It had to do with my mind. It was just breaking down. And when I say that these mental health issues can cause your body to react in ways that you would never think that they would react. And so for me, my body was just all out of whack. I fell down one day for no reason, just fell out. I was walking and I fell out. So many different things happened, and I cannot attribute it to sickness because that's not physical sickness, but it was mental sickness that I was going through. Also, some people will turn to substance abuse, alcohol, drugs, sex, shopping, all different types of abuse. They may become abusive towards other people, verbally, mentally, emotionally. This is how this thing starts to break you down. And the other thing that happens is that some people will self-harm or become suicidal. I've had people that I've had to work with who are cutters, and they found comfort, believe it or not, they found comfort in cutting themselves. They felt relieved in cutting themselves. And all of this may sound crazy to you, but it's real. It's so real. People will become suicidal, have suicidal thoughts, and sometimes they will bring those suicidal thoughts into fruition. I've shared that with you all as well, being suicidal and attempting to take my life because I was so depressed and so out of it. And so it's very important that you understand that if you're one of those people, or if you know somebody that's going through this right now, to let them know, and I want to let you know that you are not alone. You're looking at someone who has been there, has gone through the journey, did the work, and has recovered from it. And now I'm able to sit here and encourage other people to get the help that they need. So it's possible for you to move from that state, that mental health issue that you're going through. It's possible for you to move from that and be able to move into the person that you were purposed and put on this earth to be. Now, I want to ask you some questions, and this is just for you. You don't have to put anything in the comments. This is just for something for you to think about, or you can share this video with somebody else, and maybe you may be seeing something and you may say, hey, watch this video, and maybe they can listen to the questions. But are you using any type of substances right now to cope with your stress or anxiety? Very important. In order for you to function on a day-to-day basis, are you using any substances? Which means outside of using those substances, you're not going to be able to make it through the day. So are you using any type of substances to cope with the stress and anxiety that you're going through? Have you lost interest in things? Have you lost interest in eating, going out, being with family, hanging with your friends, being around your children, raising your children, doing the fun things that you like to do? Have you lost interest in that? The other thing I want to ask you, are you self-isolating? Are you avoiding people? And are you okay with it? Are you comfortable with being by yourself? The other thing, a couple more questions. Are you having any mood changes? Any mood swings? Feeling up, feeling down, feeling angry, feeling suicidal? Want to lash out at people? Are you having any excessive mood swings? And your life, if you were to look at your life, are you doing anything right now that's keeping you from being able to perform at your highest level of ability? Have you gone from here to here, being able to perform properly at work or at school or at church or at your organizations, with children, doing things with your children? How's your performance level? Or do you just feel like, I don't want to do it, I'm not into it, I don't want to be bothered? Because all of those things, even if you answered yes to 2 of those things, I would suggest that you reach out, talk to your physician, let them know that you're having some issues and you'd like to come in and see them so they can point you into the direction that you need to go as far as getting the mental health help that you need. You don't have to suffer alone. This thing is real, and if you don't get the help you need, it's so serious, everybody, that it can literally take you away from this earth. That's how serious it is. And so today I'm going to also put up on the wall, I'm going to put up the phone number for suicide prevention hotline, for the mental health hotline. There's also a hotline for people who are veterans. There's a line for you to call. This is very, very serious. And as we look around in our world today, we see a lot of people who are suffering with mental health issues. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter if you're broke. It doesn't matter what color you are, how big you are, how much hair you have or you don't have. Mental health can affect anyone, okay? Anyone. And so I would encourage you with all my heart, I encourage you to get the help that you need, because sometimes when you are going through these mental health crises, in your mind, you feel like it's normal, it's okay, and you're looking at everybody else like it's something wrong with them. No, it's nothing wrong with the other people, but you have to get help, because what you're doing is self-destructive. And so my prayers go out to everybody who's suffering with mental health issues. My prayers go out to families who've lost loved ones and friends due to mental health issues. I've lost 2 of mine last year who committed suicide from mental health issues. And I myself, as I said to you, suffered with being clinically depressed. So I know all about it, and there's so much more that I could say, but I don't want to keep you all on here a long time. I just want to wish you well, and I pray that you get the help and the relief and the release that you need so that you can move forward and you can really enjoy life. I can tell you that life is worth living. Life is exciting. I wake up every day on a natural high, just so excited that I am here to participate in another day. So listen, hang in there. Make sure if you need those numbers, use those numbers, okay? Use those numbers to get the help that you need. And last but not least, if you feel like you can't even dial the numbers, because I understand that as well, please, please reach out to somebody that you can really trust, even if you text them and just say, I need help or help me. You don't have to write out a long thing. Just let them know. Somebody that you can trust, who if you write, I need help or help me, they're going to contact you. They're going to come over. They're going to find you. And they're going to help you get the help that you need. Okay? Peace and blessings to you. Please do me a favor, as you all have been doing. I appreciate you so much for sharing these videos. I am amazed at the responses that I am getting, because it was just something that I decided to do one day. Just get on here and just do life coaching lessons online. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. Peace and blessings to all of you. And I look forward to speaking to you again for another life coaching session. And today's life coaching question was, how are you doing? All right, everybody, take care.